What's going on YouTube? What's going on Facebook? This your boy Rell, aka Dolo. You now tuned into the Unsportsmanlike talk show. I got my guy here with me right here, Young Jers, man. He is under the weather, but he pulled through tonight. Let me change the
Yeah,
background. I
yeah.
apologize for that. Yeah, man, he was under the weather, man, but he pulled through tonight, man. So y'all wish him well. Y'all wish him to get well soon.
Good
You know what I
looks, good
mean?
looks.
Please make sure that y'all like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. If you don't know where to find me at on YouTube, you could type in Dolo Solo 1033 TV. That's Dolo Solo 1033 TV. You can also hit me up on Instagram at the real Dolo Solo 1033. The real Dolo Solo 1033. That's everything right there, man. We about to get into the recap of the NFL Week 15, man. We about to start recapping this joint. We're gonna start off with the Philadelphia Eagles, of course. The Philadelphia Eagles versus the Steelers, man. What an amazing game, man. The Eagles defeated the Steelers, man. This was the battle of the Pennsylvania football team, and I even said it
Yeah.
wrong, Pennsylvania. This was the battle of the Pennsylvania football team, man. The Eagles versus the Steelers, man. This is one of those games that a lot of people actually wanted to see. They wanted to see a different performance out of Jalen Hurts. You know what I mean? They pretty much got what they asked for. Very good game. I forgot what the score was, if I'm not mistaken. What was the score?
27-13.
27-13. The score was 27-13. The Philadelphia Eagles actually came out the first quarter and the second quarter on fire. You know what I mean? Jalen Hurts actually ended up the first half 11-12. You know what I mean? So he was on target. Him and AJ Brown, they was pretty much on point together. Him and Devontae Smith was on point together. This was a game that they really didn't need Saquon Barkley for real. He ended up getting nicked early and he pretty much missed the whole quarter. But this just to let you know the greatness of a Jalen Hurts and a AJ Brown, the greatness of a Jalen Hurts and a Devontae Smith. You know what I mean? There was a lot of stuff surrounding Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown. What's the linebacker name again? I can't. The
Um,
defensive player who got injured.
you got it's a different so one of them got
Brandon Graham. Brandon Graham. There's a lot of
yeah,
news
yeah, yeah,
going
yeah, yeah.
surrounding them guys. Basically, coming from the Carolina game, Brandon Graham, not Brandon Graham, AJ Brown actually spoke to the media and he said that one of the things that was lacking was passing. And he fell right into the media trap because the media was pretty much baiting him for weeks and weeks, and then he
Yeah.
finally took the bait, and so the media, like the facility, the Philadelphia media, they end up taking it and start spinning a narrative and try to create chaos amongst the team. But this was the game to actually prove them wrong. It was a I need y'all to be quiet game. You know what I mean? AJ Brown ended up having 11 targets with 8 receptions, I believe, for 100 or something yards. Devontae Smith ended up having 12 targets with I think 9 receptions for 100 and something yards. Jalen Hurts was on fire, man. Moving the ball pretty good. Pocket awareness was good. One thing I said in my hype fan Eagle videos is that Jalen Hurts had to get in a rhythm. It's hard to get in a rhythm when your running back is running the air out the ball, and they only got you throwing the ball but so many times during the game. Let your quarterback get in a rhythm so that way he can find he can find where the wide receivers at and he can actually read the field. If he can't get in a rhythm, then it's hard to find your wide receivers and stuff like that. So this was definitely a prove it game and a FU game to the media. So the defense actually stepped up. So what's your takeaways from this game?
I take away is that they on both sides of the field they showed that we could actually compete like with top, not just any team but like top tier teams that's out in this league that's also doing it too. We got a lot of good teams that's doing this. It seemed like a very competitive year season with a lot of these teams, and we showed that on the offensive side we could keep up, and on the defense side, like especially on the defense side, we are keeping these teams in low scoring. Like I think no team have scored more than 20 and plus points on our defense since the Jaguars, and that was I think they scored 23 or something like
Yeah.
that.
Mm-hmm.
So like that just lets you know of what we are doing very well on the defense side, and on the offense side, I just take that, like you were saying, all the talk about AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts and with the passing game and everything. Um, I feel like all these analysts and these people that be speaking on sports and interviews and all this other stuff, I feel like this game the Eagles had a lot of them backpedaling. Most of them, if not all of them, backpedaling their words. And they all you hearing them saying is, uh, oh, y'all making it seem like, because you saw the interview with Jalen Hurts was like, he was like, oh, so I get, he said that's what y'all want to see, like, that's what y'all want, like that's what he was saying, and AJ Brown was like, yo, yeah, that we felt like that was something that shut them up. So now you see all these analysts and see all these people, they backpedaling and talking about, oh, y'all acting like it was us that said this. Y'all the one that said it. Y'all the one that brought it in the locker room. Y'all the one that said y'all had a passing issue. Y'all the one that did never, because they don't want to take accountability of what they did. And what I'm gonna say is, yes, they are the one that brought it up. Yes, AJ Brown was the one that brought it up about the passing, and Nick Sirianni elaborated on it and everything. But don't act like they exaggerated with everything. Don't act like, okay, they brought it up to make a big issue out something. No, they brought it up to inform y'all on what they know that they need to work on. Like, yeah, the passing game. And they brought that up to let them know, like, yo, we got this, we gonna work on, we know. It was a little frustration because they know they could be better. Not to bring it up to be like, oh, panic and be like, oh, it's an issue, or Jalen Hurts is the issue, and Jalen Hurts is the problem, or this he can't pass, or like they a lot of stuff that these analysts after the Panthers game, these are a lot of stuff they start talking about just on that they took whatever AJ Brown said and ran with it and made a whole narrative and everything and blew everything out, made everything more serious than what it really was. And then now, of course, they gonna feel like that. Of course, Jalen Hurts gonna feel like, yo, like y'all taking our words in a different meaning. Like y'all making
Yeah.
it seem more than what it is. And
Mm-hmm.
now they trying to talk about, oh, they wasn't like, nah, y'all was really trying to come at Jalen Hurts. Yes, he had some hiccups of his passing. He missed some guys. I get it. But overall, you act like he was doing that all season. Like,
Yeah.
it was a lot of cleanup. Yeah, he had turnovers in the beginning, but between the turnovers, he was getting that ball out and making good passes. So them knowing with that thing, they blew the whole thing. And the guy would say this, and I'll give it up. The guy off of what's that show? I think First Thing First with Nick Wright. I think his
Yeah. I
name
don't.
is.
I don't. I don't watch. I don't watch none of that for real. So
Oh yeah.
I
I
just
think his
watch the
name is.
I watch Facility, a little bit of ESPN, but I don't.
Yeah.
I don't watch anything that Nick Wright is on.
Yeah, no, I know. I watch it just to see what they be talking about, and I think his name
Yeah.
Buff, something like that. The ginger looking guy, like he looked like Sinbad a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I forget his name. Bro, that's what they call him, bro. Like he the only one that brought that up. He said like, yo, don't, like, he also want to say is he know that AJ Brown brought up that scenario, but he also want to say that they the media and the sports, they have a tendency to blow things out more than what it is. Oh, soon
Mm-hmm.
as they see two people having a disagreement for a moment, they immediately think they hate each other. Like they
Yeah.
immediately think it's a whole hate, they don't like each other, whatever. Like friends or whatever can have small disagreements and they need to cool off for a little bit and they come back. Like, so I just wanted to throw that in there, that this game to me has showed that, yo, y'all blew everything out for no reason. Like, we don't have the guys that could do this. Like, All we
Mm-hmm.
just needed was, to me, I always felt like we could do this, and I just felt like two things. Hurst got to get a little bit more comfortable because I felt like the turnovers in the beginning kind of made him hold on to the ball a little bit more. And Kellen Moore had to call a good game, like to get Jalen Hurts to stay in that type of flow of motion. And I would end it off with this: Kellen Moore and Hurts. That's what they did. Kellen Moore called a good passing game, and
Yeah.
Hurts looked comfortable. And one thing he did was that you saw that was more different than other game is he was getting that ball out quicker. Like
Mm-hmm.
he was doing checkdowns. Wasn't trying to look for deep balls all the time. Nah, boom, get it out. Get the ball out. Don't take no sacks. Don't force nothing. Boom, he was throwing it to crosses, slants, throwing it to the flat. Kenny Gainwell is showing that he could be a good backup for Saquon Barkley. Like this, like so. I like the game plan that Kellen Moore called for that game with the passing, not just like okay he read the passing, no how he called a passing game, and then
Yeah.
I like that how comfortable Jalen Hurts seemed to get that ball out quicker and go through his progression. So it was an overall all game, but I like the passing game on that aspect.
Yeah, for me, I like the help, and matter of fact, I like the depth that we got. You know what I'm saying? Kenny Gainwell did his thing, you know what I mean, in place of Saquon Barkley, who got injured early. Kenny Gainwell was out there wilding, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Our defense, man, yo, if listen, I don't think no running back this season put up 100 yards on us. That says a lot. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? That
yeah.
says a lot. No running back this season put up 100 yards on us. Period, man. That says a lot. N'Kobe Dean has came a long way. He was one of those linebackers that came into the league 2-3 years ago, injury prone. You know what I mean? And he couldn't really stay on the field. Now that he's healthy or whatever like that, and pair him with another good linebacker in Zach Bond, who is listen, man. I hope the Philadelphia Eagles do something quick, man. Get this man a contract. You know what I mean? Get this man a contract. We got to figure that out, man. It was a play that happened with Darius Slay and I think another tight end from the Pittsburgh Steelers. When the play was dead and the tight end drove Darius Slay all the way to the end zone, and then Darius Slay ended up swinging on him. And then next thing you know, Quinyon Mitchell came to Darius Slay rescue, and then the whole birds just started flocking. You know what I'm saying? And that'll
Mhm.
let you know that our defense is fierce, man. We got one of
Yeah,
the best
yeah,
defenses in the league, period, man. So
yeah, yeah.
I like the fact that AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts actually shut up the media. And they didn't do it, they didn't do it by talking. They did it with their play on the field. The fact
Mm-hmm.
that listen, we could run the ball, but I want to let y'all know we can throw the ball too. You know what I mean? We could pretty
Mm-hmm.
much beat y'all any way. Running the ball, throwing the ball, we could beat y'all defensively. You know what I'm saying? So but this the thing though. When you give the media ammunition to start, you know what I mean, to start throwing at you for real, then we gotta we got to take that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
a lot of things should have been handled in house. You know what I mean? But what
Yeah.
I take from it is the fact that I'm glad this happened because who knows during this game if we would have switched anything up and if we just would have kept on with the run. You know what I mean? I'm glad we were able. I feel like the way we came out was a big adjustment to okay, cool. We ignored the passing game. I'm glad AJ Brown said something but but let me remind y'all that we can throw the ball too. And not only that, we got a top 5 wide receiver in the game, and we got a top 5 number 2 wide receiver in the league. You know what I mean? So we pretty much shut down damn near every good team that came at us from the Washington Commanders. They was good at one point. We shut them down. And then you know what I mean? Um the Baltimore Ravens, you know what I mean? We did them dirty. We shut them down. Lamar Jackson ain't really have a big game on us. Down to
Mm-hmm.
the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they were supposed to be the reign of terror. They were supposed to end our whole what 9-10 game win streak.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
saying? So closing out the season, we pretty much got an easy schedule. You know what I mean? Anything can still happen, but we pretty much got an easy schedule. We got Washington coming up next. we got the Dallas Cowboys, and then we got the Giants. Right now I'm looking for the 1 seed. Hopefully we can get the 1 seed. The Detroit Lions actually lost. They lost to the Buffalo. They lost to the Buffalo Bills. You know what I mean? So let's get on to the Detroit Lions, man. They actually lost to the Buffalo Bills. They are riddled with injuries, man. I think they got 17, I think either 17 or 22 players on the injured reserve list, man.
Yeah.
One of their main running backs and Montgomery, he ended up having a season-ending injury. Montgomery and Gibbs, they called each other Sonic and Tails or Sonic and Knuckles or something like that. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
As far
Sonic
as
and Knuckles. Yeah.
yeah. But he actually ended his season. He actually ended up tearing, I think, his MCL or something like that. But
Oh,
they
damn.
actually lost to the Buffalo Bills, man. Josh Allen out there looking like an MVP. You know what I mean? I think he had 2 rushes on the ground. I mean, 2 touchdowns on the ground, 2 in the air. But he was doing whatever out there, man. I mean,
Yeah.
Josh Allen came, he came a long way from him being known for having a bunch of turnovers and throwing interceptions to him being polished
Mm-hmm.
this year, him not really having a number one wide receiver and putting the team on his back. You know what I mean? His
Mm-hmm.
defense isn't the best, but he's going out there making it happen. You know what I'm saying? What's your takeaways on that game?
Nah, man, just like you said, Josh Allen is out there making plays, and no, they picked up Amari Cooper, but I don't know. Was he playing out there or
Nah,
did he
he
be
didn't have
out?
no targets. He didn't have no targets. And that's what
Yeah,
I'm
that's
saying. It's like for him to do what he did and Amari Cooper ain't have no targets
yeah, yeah,
and
that's what I'm
they
saying.
still beat one of the best teams in the NFL. That's
Yeah,
that's that's crazy.
that's what I'm saying. Cause I didn't see his name ring up. Now one time, that boy Shakir is like, shoot, he's solidifying a number one receiver than he is.
Mm-hmm.
He out there balling and making plays. And but I look at it both, to be honest, both offense was out there doing their thing. Because I'm not going, even though the Lions lost, they still was out there balling. Jared Goff was still
Jared
slinging that
Goff was
ball.
balling. Yeah.
Like they was out, but it was just all it was going to always come down to what defense was going to get that more stop, get the key stops more, a little bit more. And you already know, the Lions defense is depleted and they not looking very good right now in this season. So
Mm-hmm.
that was just the key point of the game, that the Bills defense was able enough to do a little bit more to and that's what it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
But also I would say this. What I would say is both offensive coordinator or coach, whatever the head coach is involved, but both offenses, they know how to dial up plays.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they know how to dial up plays. I'm looking at the Bills, the way they dial up plays, and like some of the schemes and some of the play calling, how they are doing things to get scheming people open, just different things. Looking, just not looking standard, just being creative with their plays, and
Mm-hmm.
also with the Lions, it's just being creative with the plays. So moving a line, I think he was an offensive lineman to a tight end position
Mm-hmm.
and the scheme him open to get a touchdown. You don't see that often, and to work in the way that it worked.
Yeah. Yeah.
They are that was a really pretty good play that they designed and they made up. And they don't just only do that; they do a lot of that. So they look like they have a good offensive play calling. Both the Bills and the Lions, and I think that's why it was like that type of score. It just came down to the defense, and the defense just couldn't. Both defense had a hard time trying to figure out the offense because of that reason. It just the Bills defense is a little bit more better to put that pressure on the quarterback. And
Mm-hmm.
I would end it off and say this. It was a lot of talk about what's his name, Dan Campbell, the head coach for the Lions.
Yeah, with the
Um,
onside kick, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Outside of kicking so early in the game. A lot of them said, "Well, that's Dan." They were saying, that's who we are, that's the team, and that's how they are. He been coach. Yeah, and that's good too. But sometimes you gotta know when and when not. You gotta know when to turn it on and
You
turn it off.
gotta know when to hold them, know
Yeah,
when to fold them.
right. Yeah, you gotta know when to turn it on and turn it off, man. Like that was the time to turn it off. Keep that
Yeah,
switch off, man. Don't turn it
yeah,
on, man. Like it's too early in the game. You had a chance to come back. Why give him? Why give him? You see that your defense is having a hard time stopping the offense.
yeah.
Why give them an easy field advantage? Like kick that
But
ball down.
that's what happened last year. I don't know if you remember, but they was in the NFC Championship, and
Yeah, yeah.
the difference in that game was him going for it on a fourth down or whatever like that. Instead of kicking the ball, like
Mm-hmm.
Dan Campbell, he's aggressive, so he's gonna live and die with just outrageous play call. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Especially either
yeah,
going on a fourth down or like that's just him. Like that's how he do it. He'll
yeah.
take the risk. He'll go for it on the fourth down, or he'll take the risk and he'll do something like he did versus the Buffalo Bills and do that onside kick early in the game. You know what I mean? That's just Dan Campbell. But listen, man, this is the not to cut you off, but
No, you good.
this is like y'all getting close to the playoffs. Like y'all can't be making no mistakes like how y'all did last year in the NFC Championship. You feel what
You
I'm
can't.
saying? You can't. So like you said, you gotta learn. You gotta know when to cut that switch off, bro. And you should have done that.
Yeah, yeah, facts. That's what he should do. I think he should have gave that. He should. I know your defense, whatever, but you should have at least. Shoot, you gotta trust that your defense gonna make a stop at. They could. It's not that they didn't stop. Josh Allen at all through the game. I mean, they barely could stop him, but they had some stops. Like Josh Allen didn't have his way from the beginning to the end. Like so you just could have trust that. Okay, that drive, kick it down, get them shorted youngest field that they got to
Yeah.
march down. Trust your defense, try to dial up, get the ball back with enough of time, and try to play complimentary football. So like you said, that's Dan. Like they said, that's him. But he hopefully he won't
Yeah, shit.
he
They
won't
was in the game too, especially towards the end. I feel like that
yeah,
onside kick kind of messed up everything. Kind of messed up
yeah,
the rhythm of how they could come
rhythm
back.
and
I
then
mean,
and
you
then
had Josh Allen throwing 4 touchdowns, trying his best. Like you said, their defense is depleted, so they couldn't really do anything.
mm-hmm,
So why put yourself more deep to where
deep.
you know what I mean? Like nah, like yo, you gotta start. You gotta, like you said, you gotta cut that switch off and learn how
Yeah,
to play
don't let that go
smart
into the playoffs.
football.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
don't let that go into the don't let that go into the playoffs.
you cannot
Yeah,
do
that's
that
it.
in the playoffs, man. I'm gonna run down. I'm definitely gonna run down a couple of scores to before we end up going on to the next topic with another team. The Chiefs beat the Browns 21-7. Jameis Winston is Jameis Winston. He's going to throw
Mhm.
interceptions and stuff like that. He actually it was a report that just happened. They benching Jameis Winston. So he's done. He's getting benched. Um, the Bengals beat the Titans 37-27. Wayne, you know what I mean? Whatever it is with that. The Commanders beat the Saints 2019. That was a real close game. You know what I mean? That was
Mhm.
a real close game. The Ravens beat the Giants 35-14. Lamar had a hell of a day, man. Lamar was out there just he was doing whatever. I mean, it's the Giants, so of course, but Lamar had 5 touchdown passes. He was 21 for 25, 290 yards. Derrick Henry, not so much during the day. He 14 carries for 67 yards, no touchdowns. Um, so it was the Lamar Jackson show for real. Lamar Jackson, Rashad Bateman, he was out there cooking for real.
Yeah.
Justin Hill had a touchdown, you know what I mean? Mark Andrews, he only had 2 receptions for 24 yards with a touchdown. So yeah, man, the Baltimore Ravens was definitely cooking out there for sure. The Jets beat the Jaguars 32-25. Both don't have playoff aspirations, so we don't
Nope.
really care about that. The Cowboys beat the Panthers 30-14. If the Cowboys could actually sneak into the playoffs, they can actually sneak into the playoffs if the Cowboys win out, and if I believe that if the Commanders lose 1 or 2 games, then the Cowboys can sneak into the playoffs for real. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
saying? They can get in the playoffs. The Texans actually beat the Dolphins 20-12. The Broncos beat the Colts. Did you see that? Did you see that play with the Colts when they tried to do a flea flicker with Anthony Richardson?
I think I saw it on the highlights thing.
Yeah,
Highlights
yo,
reel.
that play took oh so long to develop because Richardson threw it to the wide receiver. The wide
Mm-hmm.
receiver flipped the ball and then end up throwing it back, which caused I think it was a pick six or
That
something
was the
like that.
pick. Yeah, yeah, yup,
Yeah,
yup.
I'm like,
Yeah.
come on, bro. Like,
Like, what is y'all doing?
when the quarterback throw you the ball or whatever, you supposed to get that ball and throw it right back. That's the point of a flea flicker. But when you
Yeah.
get the ball and then you want to flip it around, then get the grip of it and throw it, like you wasting time. You wasting
Yeah.
time trying to find the laces on the ball and
Yeah.
stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so yeah, the Broncos beat them. The Bills beat the Lions 48-42. The Cardinals beat the Patriots 30-17. The Buccaneers beat the Chargers, beat the dog out the Chargers 40-17, and the Packers beat the Seahawks 30-13. I want to talk a little bit about the Buccaneers, man. They've been having an up and down season and stuff like that. But I agree with some of the people like, yo, nobody really want to see the Buccaneers in the playoffs because they can give any top team a run for their money for real. Like
Mm-hmm.
The Buccaneers is just one of them teams like, yo, they can be tough. They can be had, but they can be tough too. You know what I'm saying? Like they end up beating us early in the season. I believe our record versus the Buccaneers, we are 1-4. We only beat them one time, and that was last year. We only beat
Mm-hmm.
them last year. We lost to the Buccaneers when they had Tom Brady. We lost to them in the, I think we lost to Tom Brady twice, and we lost to Baker Mayfield twice, and we only beat them one time with Baker
Yeah.
Mayfield. So we 1-4 versus the Buccaneers. I want to talk a little bit about Caleb Williams before we actually switch it up. What's your thoughts on Caleb Williams, man? As a rookie, you know what I mean? He had a terrible performance last night. Had a terrible performance last night. He was out there hop, skipping, and jumping, missing wide receivers. You know what I mean? Getting pancaked and everything like that. I don't know if you paid attention to the game. I don't know if you saw the game or whatever sort of highlights of the game. But if you did,
Mm-hmm.
and if you have watched them during this whole course of the season, like
Mm-hmm.
give me your thoughts on Caleb Williams.
I just feel like Caleb Williams is like he's like one of those quarterbacks in a position that you can't necessarily give. I won't say give up on him to per se. Like example, like you look at Bryce Young right now. You know,
Mm-hmm.
when Bryce Young came in the NFL on his first season, you know, he didn't. You know, as far as my memory, I don't know. Maybe you probably agree or disagree. He didn't look very well, too well. He didn't look
Mm-hmm.
good. Like he was performing. They was like, yo, we got this first round pick, and he not performing like no first round pick. Like, you know,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
like he looking too good. But you look at Bryce Young now, you see a lot of development. You see how he's passing that ball, how he's extending plays, he's becoming a playmaker, how he's going through his progression and reading and throwing people open. He's doing a lot way on better on the Panthers and on a passing aspect and just extending plays and his skill set. You know,
Mm-hmm.
he's doing a lot of that now that you didn't see when he first came in the NFL. You know, sometimes it just mean sometimes it don't only be on the quarterback. Sometimes it be on coaches figuring out what is the quarterback best asset and what's the plays and develop him to comfortable enough in that offense that you built to know how to trust in your receivers and knowing when to pass it and not to pass it. Develop him to knowing when to go through his progressions and everything, you know. So like he well, I look at a lot of these quarterbacks that not some of them they accuracy they passing it's just bad. Sometimes they might just lose it. They might they not the same like they was in college. But I look at it throwing the ball 50 yards down accurately is the same throwing it 50 yards down accurate in the NFL. There's no
Mm-hmm.
difference if you're throwing it 50 yards down accurate in a college ball than when you go in the NFL and you throw it 50 yards down accurate. 50 yards accurate is 50 yards accurate no matter what. Like if you've been doing this in college and you've been a good passer, accurate with your passing, you reading, you whatever, a lot of these quarterbacks still have that asset when they go in the NFL, but a lot of times because of development and because of the position some coaches and some offensive coordinators put them in of how they call a game or how they put the players involved and set them up.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes matchups and all that, a quarterback got to get used to it when it comes to the NFL. He got to see the difference of the NFL versus college. Like
Mm-hmm.
he got to see, okay, this is a little bit more fast paced.
Mm-hmm.
Like the windows that was open as much it was in college, nah,
It's
it's not
not
the
open.
same.
Yeah.
Like I gotta get used to knowing when to throw this, get this ball out,
You got
when
to get
whatever.
used to throwing wide receivers open.
Open, exactly. Like,
Yeah.
so sometimes it takes a season, maybe two, like for a quarterback to come in to understand that. Like, yo, oh, okay, this like the window, everything is I gotta let me get through my what's name develop. Let me get used to this new thing of the NFL. And
Yeah.
so that's how I look at him. Like I look at him, I don't want to give up on him so much because we do this a lot with quarterbacks that come in and they have
Mm-hmm.
potential. Like, but he definitely need a more development and progress. Because he's looking inexperienced a little bit in a lot of areas. But no, I think he got the potential. Just give him a
Yeah.
little bit more time.
Just to piggyback off of what you said about development. Um from my eye test and from what I know, from what I see, and I feel like for a good quarterback in the NFL, it really take them at least 4 to 5 years to develop to be a real good quarterback. You know what I mean? You got some anomalies out there who just good off the rip, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
for your average quarterback, it take them at least 5 years to figure out what type of defense is being schemed against them. To actually gain the mental and the IQ of when
yeah,
to throw the ball, what spaces, you still got to actually learn your wide receivers. You got to learn route patterns. You got to get
yeah,
your
yeah,
timing
yeah,
down pat. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot, so it's not going to happen your first year. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So I wasn't expecting a lot from Caleb Williams this year. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Even though
yeah,
the hype was around him and stuff like that, and like I said, you got some anomalies that's out there that's just they just do they thing off the rip, like Jayden Daniels, or you know what I mean.
mm-hmm,
I think Kyler Murray came into the NFL looking real good. You know what I mean. But you do got your cases like Bryce Young, who looked horrible his first year, but you
yeah,
see it towards the tail end of this year that he's starting to get trust in himself. That's one
yeah,
thing. You
yeah.
gotta have trust in yourself. And
Facts, facts,
when it
facts.
comes to certain rookie quarterbacks, they don't fully have that trust. They don't fully have that
Mm-hmm.
development and all that stuff. So and it comes down to the coaches too. With the Bears, I think 2 offensive coordinators got fired this year. So
Yeah, yeah,
to go through your third offensive coordinator, that whole offense is just they just need to fucking implode that shit and just
yeah,
get rid of,
yeah.
you know what I mean, and rebuild. You know what I mean? But I believe that he noticed that what I did in college doesn't translate to the NFL because, like you said, the game is played at a faster pace.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're not just the best player. There is 32 other players that's just as
That
good as you out there.
get you
You
in.
know what I
Yep,
mean? And they
yep.
are grown men as well. So I do believe that he got the talent, he got the arm strength. I do believe that he could throw the ball anywhere on the field. It's just the fact that he's still a little bit immature when it comes to the quarterback play. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
And you could just see it on the field, man. By his body language every time he gets sacked or when things don't go his way. Every time he try to make circus throws and he just run out the pocket, trying to do
Yeah,
everything that he done in college, and it just don't work. But
yeah,
I feel like once he get back in the lab or whatever, I'm not saying he's going to be the almighty, but you do see the potential and the talent that he has. You know what I mean? That's
yeah,
undeniable.
yeah,
He just got to get back in the lab. You know what I mean? Like right after this off season, take a few weeks off, get your body relaxed. You know what I mean? Get your mind away from football, and by time early March or something like that, get back in the lab. You know what I mean? Get back,
yeah.
and that go for a lot of quarterbacks. Actually, Anthony Richardson, Bryce Young, Caleb Williams.
Mm-hmm.
another young quarterback, Michael Penix, who the Falcons starting Michael Penix Jr. and benching what's my man that played for the Falcons now? He came from the Vikings.
You talk about Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins, yeah, they benching Kirk Cousins and starting Michael Penix Jr. Who else had a hard time this year for real? Just to name a couple
Yeah,
quarterbacks in the NFL that actually struggle, but you see the potential. Those type of quarterbacks, man, they need to hurry up and hit the lab right after the season for
yeah,
real. You know
yeah.
what I mean? So that's that, man. To wrap up the